Today, we're going to dive into something pretty incredible: the dramatic, diverse, and just deeply vital climate of India. You see scenes like this, from thundering skies to the scorching desert sun, and you realize India's weather is a true force of nature. But what are the powerful engines driving all of this? The forces that shape the lives of over 1 billion people? Well, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, we need to clear up a really common confusion. We all hear the words weather and climate thrown around, sometimes like they're the same thing, but they're really not, not at all. Here's the easiest way to think about it: weather is what's happening outside your window right now. Is it rainy, sunny, a bit windy? That's weather. It's short term, and it can change in a flash. Climate, though, is the big picture. It's the long story of weather, told over decades. It's the reason you just know to pack for snow in the Himalayas in January and to expect those monsoons to hit Mumbai around July. And this long term view of climate is nothing new in India. Far from it. While many of us might think of 4 seasons, traditional Indian culture actually divides the year into 6 distinct ritus. Each one has its own unique feel, and it influences everything from festivals like Holi, marking spring's victory over winter, to the very ragas performed in classical music at different times of the year. So, this ancient wisdom gives us a deep cultural map of the year, but modern science, it reveals just how incredibly diverse the landscape really is. India doesn't just have one climate, it's more like a whole continent of climates packed into a single country. So, let's take a quick tour, shall we? We'll start way up in the far north. Here, the towering Himalayas create what's called an alpine climate. We're talking cold, snowy winters and these just beautiful, cool summers. It's a whole different world from the tropical heat most people picture when they think of India. Now let's swing all the way west to the massive Thar Desert. This is a classic arid climate, and that means scorching hot days, but then surprisingly cool nights, and, well, very, very little rain. It is a true land of extremes. And then you head down to the southwestern coast, and it's a completely different scene. This is a tropical wet climate, and it is dominated by some incredibly heavy rainfall during the monsoon, which creates these lush, vibrant green landscapes. So think about that: snow, sand, and torrential rain, all inside the borders of one nation. So the big question is, how is all this variety even possible in one country? Well, it all boils down to a few key geographical and atmospheric factors. I like to think of them as the 5 main ingredients in the recipe for India's climate. And we're going to look at how each one of these plays a crucial role. You've got latitude, altitude, how close you are to the sea, the direction of the winds, and finally, topography, which is really just a fancy word for the shape of the land itself. All right, first up, latitude. So places down near the equator, like the tip of southern India, get hit by the sun's rays almost directly. It's like a laser beam of heat. But as you move north, those same rays hit the Earth at an angle, spreading that energy out. That's a big reason why Kanyakumari is pretty much warm all year, while Srinagar, way up north, is so much cooler. Next, we have altitude. And this one's pretty simple. The higher you go, the colder it gets. As you climb a mountain, the air gets thinner, it's less dense, so it just can't hold on to as much heat. This is exactly why those famous hill stations like Udi and Shimla are such a perfect cool escape from the heat of the plains down below. Third ingredient, how close you are to the sea. And this is perfectly illustrated by comparing two cities, Mumbai and Nagpur. Now they're at a similar latitude, but their climates, worlds apart. Mumbai, sitting right there on the coast, gets this moderating effect from the sea, so it has cooler summers and milder winters. Nagpur, on the other hand, is deep inland, and it experiences those wild extremes, blazing hot summers and much, much colder winters. Our fourth factor is the sheer power of the wind. You should really think of winds as these massive transport systems, carrying temperature and moisture across the country. They can haul that scorching, dry air from the western deserts, causing heat waves, or they can sweep down from the Himalayas and bring those shivering cold waves in the winter. And finally, topography, the physical shape of the land. And believe me, this one is huge. The Himalayan mountain range, for instance, acts like a colossal wall. It literally protects the subcontinent from those freezing cold winds blowing down from Central Asia. Honestly, without the Himalayas, northern India would be a much, much colder place. So you take all these factors, you mix them together, and they create the single most dramatic and important climatic event in India, the monsoon. And it's so much more than just rain. It's truly the heartbeat of the entire nation. This ancient Sanskrit verse just captures the feeling perfectly. For thousands of years, life has hinged on this one prayer, that the rains will arrive on time. The rhythm of the monsoon really is the rhythm of life itself. So how does this whole thing work? Well, it's actually a beautiful and pretty simple mechanism. In the summer, the huge Asian landmass heats up way faster than the ocean. This creates a low-pressure area over the land. So the air from the high-pressure ocean rushes in to fill that space, and it carries enormous amounts of moisture with it. That is the southwest monsoon. Then, in the winter, the whole process flips. The land cools down, creating high pressure, and dry winds blow from the land back out to sea. And if you want to understand the pure power of this system, just look at this number. The village of Mawsynram in Meghalaya gets an average of 11,000 millimeters of rain every single year. That is 11 meters, about 36 feet of rain. It is, without a doubt, the wettest place on planet Earth. That is absolutely staggering. So, for this last section, let's bring it all back home, back to the people. Because this isn't just a bunch of abstract science, right? It's the very foundation of culture, of society, of daily life. The climate, and especially the arrival of that monsoon, dictates pretty much everything in agriculture. It decides which crops get planted, when they're sown, and when they're harvested. I mean, the food on literally millions of tables depends entirely on this one annual cycle. And this deep dependence has fostered some incredible traditional knowledge passed down for generations. People have learned to read nature for clues. For instance, fishermen on the Konkan coast, they know the monsoon is getting close when certain types of fish start rising to the surface, probably because of changes in the water temperature. And in some communities, people believe that the height of a crow's nest on a tree can actually predict how heavy the coming rains will be. And that's really the point. Ultimately, climate isn't just some abstract concept we study. It's the shared experience of school children walking home in the rain. It's the farmers watching the sky and waiting for clouds. It's in the clothes we wear and the festivals we celebrate. It is woven right into the very soul of the subcontinent. And all of this leaves us with a really critical question for the future. As our global climate patterns continue to shift, this ancient, delicate balance between the environment and human life, it's under threat. So the challenge for all of us, really, is this. How do we protect this vital relationship, one that was forged over millennia, and make sure that it can endure for all the generations to come?